Why should we believe that West Virginia football is back? And why should we believe in this 2025 edition of the West Virginia Mountaineers football team? In this episode of Couz's Corner, I'm going to give you 7 reasons we should believe in this team. And we're going to do that right after this word from one of my channel sponsors. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner, your home for top shelf content surrounding the West Virginia Mountaineers, the Big 12, and occasionally a little conference realignment. Today, we are focusing on the West Virginia Mountaineers football team going into 2025, and I'm going to give you 7 reasons. That's right, lucky number 7. Why we should believe in this football team and why this team could be considered back. So let's go ahead and kick it off with reason number 1. That is the return of Rich Rodriguez. That's right. Can he take us back to the glory days? There is a renewed hope amongst Mountaineer Nation, a renewed hope in Morgantown that Rich Rod can get this Mountaineer team back to where they were in the mid-2000s. Now, maybe that's far-fetched. Maybe that's not realistic. But we can at least believe that Rich Rod will get West Virginia back to competing for conference championships again and playing in bowl games every season. I don't think that's unrealistic. I don't think that's too much to ask. Can we please compete for a conference championship? Can we please do that? That's all we're asking. And we think Rich Rodriguez is the man who can lead, at least many fans think that Rich Rodriguez is the one who can lead this team to that point. The number 2 reason that we can believe and have confidence that this West Virginia Mountaineer football team is going to be good again in 2025, strong historical foundation. Now, the past is not always an accurate representation of what's going to happen in the future, but at least it's a good starting point. At least it gives you an idea of what they're capable of. And West Virginia has a strong historical foundation. They are the 15th winningest program of all time, the winningest program without a national championship. I mean, at some point, the law of average have to come into play. West Virginia has averaged about 7.5 wins a year throughout its history, through many football coaches. But the Neil Brown era, for whatever reason, was the worst 5-year stretch, you could argue, or 6-year stretch, rather, in Mountaineer football history since the early 80s or late 70s, to be technical. They just could not get over the hump. They were winning about 6 games a year. That's below the standard at West Virginia. So they went back to the well and brought back Rich Rodriguez. But at some point, the law of averages had to play out, right? You would think that they would revert back to the norm and get back to winning 7.5 games a year. Competing for conference championships once every 2 to 3 years. In today's era, getting into the college football playoff at least every 2 to 3 to 4 years. That's all fans are asking. We're not asking to be national champions. We're not asking to be a blue blood program. All we're asking is to get back to competing with the big boys like they did throughout the history of West Virginia football, at least being in the conversation. Now, the number 3 reason to believe in this West Virginia Mountaineer football team, that is a favorable schedule to start the season. They opened the season with FCS Robert Morris and then Ohio University out of the MAC. Under the Neil Brown era, heck, even the last year of Dana Holgorsen, West Virginia was playing 2 Power 4 opponents in the non-conference. Then they'd get into the tough Big 12 schedule. Well, this is the first time in many years they don't have to do that. They can actually start off with a favorable schedule. If they can start out 2-0 for the first time in 7, 8 years? Maybe longer. That would help the team build confidence as they go into the 3rd game of the season against that team up I-79, the backyard brawl on 9-13. They can go into that game with a 2-0 mark and some confidence. The fan base will be positive. Rich Rod will have gotten off to a good start. Things will look up in Morgantown. If nothing else, it'll be a huge mental boost for the team and for the fan base. And that could get them off to a good start and help propel them to a successful 2025 season. What is the fourth reason to believe in this West Virginia Mountaineers football team in 2025? Well, I'm glad you asked because I have the answer. And it's a new defensive philosophy. They bring in new defensive coordinator, Zach Alley from Oklahoma. One of the brightest young minds in the country, some will say one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. That's obviously yet to be determined. But it should be a new philosophy, a more aggressive philosophy, someone who will be harder to predict, someone who will be more aggressive, who will blitz more, who will bring, hopefully, some unpredictable blitz packages. Won't have to play zone all the time. Maybe they can play some man on the outside. Maybe they can get to the quarterback more often. That's something that should help this football team in 2025. That's why I have hope that, this defense, it can't get much worse, at least from the pass defense perspective. They were one of the worst in the country a year ago. Can they get up to even being an average defense? If they can do that with Rich Rod at the helm and that offense that they are capable of putting up and the number of points they're capable of scoring, has the potential to be a very successful season. Hey, do me a favor. Go check out my good friends over at Appalachia Digital. If you need a brand new website for your small business, or if you're just looking to get found easier on Google, go check out appalachiadigital.com/Couz. These are the fine folks who designed my brand new website over at wvsportschat.com. They did a fantastic job. I love their work. I think you will too. So go check them out. appalachiadigital.com/Couz. Let them know Couz sent you. Now let's get back to the show. What is the number 5 reason to believe in this West Virginia Mountaineers football team in 2025? Talent development potential. Rich Rodriguez has done a great job developing talent throughout his career, especially on the offensive side of the ball with his expertise of the spread option offense. Shouldn't be no different this year. They'd like to simplify the offense to make it easier to understand. Even though it's a new system for most of these guys, it should be easier to implement throughout the summer and in the fall. And heck, they even started it this spring. So quarterbacks like Nico Marchiol, like Jalen Henderson should be able to learn it. Jaheim White should be able to learn it. The Rodney Gallaghers of the world should be able to learn it. There are some questions on the offensive line. But with a veteran offensive line coach like Jack Bicknell, who has a history of developing offensive linemen, with people like Travis Trickett, who were proven coaches on that side of the football, and of course with Rich Rod on that side of the football, I have no doubt that this offense will get rolling at some point in the season because of their ability to develop talent. What's the 6th reason that we can believe in this Mountaineer football team in 2025? It's passionate fan base. That's right. The fan base. That's us. That's me. That's you. That's our passion for this team. The season tickets that we'll buy. The excitement that we're bringing to the program. The excitement around the program. Thanks in large part to the return of Rich Rod that I mentioned earlier. Can Milan Puskar Stadium, can Mountaineer Field get back to being its old self again? Will the student section fill in their seats? Game in, game out in Morgantown. Will fans flock from all parts of the state and heck from even out of state to get over 60,000 plus inside that stadium and make it loud once again like it was back in the good old days? Can we get it back to being like the Pitt or Penn State game of last year every week? That's what could potentially happen. They get off to a 2-0 start. The excitement around Rich Rod, an exciting offense, a more aggressive defense can all lead, along with the passion of the fan base, can all help lead to a successful 2025 campaign for West Virginia Mountaineer football. And last but not least, we can believe in this West Virginia Mountaineer team because of quarterback play. Rich Rod has a history of developing great quarterbacks. Go all the way back to his days at Glenville State with the signal caller, Jed Drenning. You can look at his days at Tulane with Sean King, at his days at Clemson with Woody Dansler, WVU with Rasheed Marshall and Pat White, at Michigan with Denard Robinson, at Arizona with Khalil Tate, at Jacksonville State with Tyler Huff. Who's the next quarterback? Is it Nico Marchiol? Is it Jalen Henderson? Whoever it is, I have confidence they will play well. Rich Rod has talked all spring about how good the quarterback room has looked, how he's going to have at least 2 guys who are ready to play in this offense and ready to not only play, but win. I have had confidence in both players, both Nico and Jalen Henderson. I just realized I misspelled quarterback on the screen. I promise you I can spell quarterback, but nonetheless, The quarterback play in 2025 is a big reason I think we can be excited. And we can expect this Mountaineer team to be back. We can expect this Mountaineer team to win games. We can expect this Mountaineer team to be successful in 2025. I told you after the last video where I talked about the risks and things that may derail Mountaineer football, I told you I was going to come back with a positive video of things we can believe in. So that's what I brought you, despite my misspelling of the word quarterback. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section. You can also hit the thumbs up button. That's another way to help this video out. And let me know what's your reasons? What are your reasons that we can be excited about Mountaineer football in 2025 and why this program may just be back? I want to know your thoughts. I've given you mine. Give me yours. I want to give a shout out to my VIP channel members of this episode. One of the perks of being a channel member are these random shout outs. The random shout outs of today are Jake T, Cheers, Beers, Mountaineers, Daryl Fletcher, Deb K, and James Green. Thank you all for being paid VIP members. If you want to be a paid VIP member and you see a join button below on your device, you can hit it. If you don't see a join button below and you want to join, go to my channel homepage on YouTube. Right beside my profile photo is a join button. You can hit it there, or there should be a link in the description box as well. You can hit that. That will also allow you to join the channel and take advantage of the perks like early access to some videos, random shout outs, and first dibs on comments during live streams. Thank you all for joining the show. Another shout out to my sponsors, Cats Counter, Stone Street, and Buckner, and Appalachia Digital. There's also another video right here in the corner of your screen that YouTube says you'll like. You can check out a basketball video right here if you like West Virginia Mountaineer basketball. Hope the rest of your day's top shelf. God bless. And as always, cue Country Roads.